The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the soft bioluminescence of 1,000 species, each representative seated in their designated atmospheric pods. Ambassador Kreeth of the Zynthian Collective tapped his mandibles together in what passed for anticipation among his kind. Today's agenda item was simple. Assess the combat potential of the newly discovered species from the third planet of System Sol 3, colloquially known as Earth. The humans wish to join our military coalition, Kreeth announced, his translator converting the clicks and whistles into standard galactic. Before we grant them admission, we must evaluate their worthiness. I have taken the liberty of accessing their planetary database. He gestured at the holographic display that materialized in the center of the chamber. Commander Vexala, a towering Krillian whose species had evolved from ambush hunters, leaned forward with interest. Her four eyes narrowed as she examined the data. Show us their apex predator. Every species capable of spaceflight has descended from or coexisted with a dominant predator. This tells us much about their combat psychology. The lone human representative, Captain Sarah Chen, sat quietly in her standard atmosphere pod, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. She said nothing as the council began their analysis. Kreeth's claws danced across his interface. Let us see, here, the great white shark. An impressive aquatic predator with rows of serrated teeth, capable of detecting electrical impulses in the water. Bite force of 18,000 newtons, formidable. Aquatic predators rarely translate to effective ground combat. Vexala dismissed. What else? The saltwater crocodile, and Kreeth continued. 3,700 kilograms of bite force. Ambush predator that can hold prey underwater until death occurs. Patient. Deadly. Counselor Thrain, whose crystalline form refracted light in contemplative patterns, chimed in. These are impressive by Deathworld standards, but I see no evidence of pack tactics, tool use, or abstract reasoning. Next. The hologram shifted to display a massive feline with orange and black stripes. The Bengal tiger, solitary apex predator, can take down prey 3 times its size, exceptional stealth capabilities and... Solitary? Interrupted Vexala. How can humans learn warfare from a creature that hunts alone? Where are their pack hunters? Their coordinated predators? Kreeth scrolled through more data, growing increasingly flustered. There are wolves and lions, which do hunt in coordinated groups. But according to these records, the humans hunted most of these species nearly to extinction. Some exist only in preservation zones now. A murmur of confusion rippled through the council chamber. Species advanced enough for spaceflight typically revered their apex predators, having learned from them or evolved alongside them. To hunt them to near extinction suggested something was wrong with the human assessment. Perhaps, suggested Counselor Thrain, we are looking at the wrong data. Kreeth, what species do humans themselves list as their planet's apex predator? Kreeth searched the database, his mandibles clicking in a rhythm that indicated confusion. That is odd, they do not list one. Instead, they have a category called Endangered Species that contains most of the predators we have examined. And another category called Extinct due to human activity, that is, extensively long. Impossible, Vexala growled. Every planet has an apex predator. Every ecosystem has a top of the food chain. What killed these predators if not other predators? Captain Chen finally cleared her throat. All eyes and eye stalks and sensory organs turned toward her small pod. She stood, her posture relaxed, almost casual. The smile on her face had widened slightly. If I may address the council? She said, her voice calm. Kreeth gestured for her to proceed, grateful for any clarification. You're looking for Earth's apex predator in the wrong places, Chen began. You're examining claws, teeth, venom, size, and strength. All admirable traits, certainly, but you're forgetting something fundamental about what makes a predator truly apex. She tapped her temple. Intelligence, adaptability, the ability to shape the environment rather than simply existing within it. Vexala's eyes narrowed further. You cannot claim that humans are... I'm right here, Chen interrupted, her voice still calm but carrying an edge now. Standing before a council of species that evolved on dozens of different worlds, breathing your various atmospheres, speaking your languages through technology we developed. You want to know about Earth's apex predator? She gestured to herself. You're looking at it. The chamber fell silent. Chen continued, pacing slowly within her pod. Humans didn't outmuscle the great white shark. We invented boats, harpoons, and sonar. We didn't outbite the crocodile. We learned its patterns, avoided its territory, and when necessary, we outsmarted it. The tiger? Magnificent creature. Faster, stronger, better equipped with natural weapons than we could ever be. We hunted it with tools we made from rocks and sticks. Then with weapons we forged from metal we learned to extract from the earth itself. Kraeth's mandibles had stopped clicking entirely. You survived by outthinking your predators? Survived? Chen laughed, though there was no humor in it. Ambassador, we thrived. Humans don't have venomous fangs, so we learned which plants carried poison and coated our weapons with them. We don't have thick hides, so we killed animals that did and wore their skins. We can't run as fast as most predators, so we invented persistence hunting. We literally walked our prey to death over days of pursuit until their stronger, faster bodies gave out from exhaustion. She paused, letting that sink in. We don't have claws, so we made knives. We don't have the strength of a bear, so we invented levers, pulleys, and machines. We couldn't fly, so we built aircraft. We couldn't survive in space, so we built these. She tapped the wall of her atmospheric pod. Counselor Thrain's crystalline form pulsed with a color that indicated deep unease. Your species weaponized evolution itself. We didn't just adapt to our environment, Chen confirmed. We made our environment adapt to us. Every predator on Earth that was a threat, we systematically removed that threat. Not through natural selection over millions of years, but through conscious choice over thousands. And the ones we didn't hunt to extinction, we domesticated. Wolves became dogs. Wild cats became pets. We turned apex predators into companions. Vexala stood abruptly, her towering form suddenly seeming less intimidating. This is unprecedented, is it? Chen asked. You asked what humans learned from Earth's apex predator. I'll tell you, we learned patience, strategy, tool use, cooperation, and adaptability. Because we had to. Because we were the apex predator, and every other predator on the planet was our competition. She leaned forward, and we won. The silence in the chamber stretched for a long moment before Kraeth finally spoke, his voice subdued. I believe the vote for military coalition membership may be a formality at this point. Captain Sarah Chen smiled, that small, patient smile again, the smile of a persistence hunter who knew that eventually, inevitably, the prey would tire. I appreciate the Council's consideration, she said simply. As the session adjourned and the various species filed out of the chamber, more than one council member made a mental note to review their own planet's security protocols. They had been searching for evidence of Earth's apex predator in their database. They had never considered that it might be sitting right in front of them, conducting diplomacy in a borrowed atmosphere, speaking borrowed words, and wearing that patient, knowing smile.